Welcome everyone, I'm Lucia and I'm the marketing manager at Newired. Before we get started, you may ask questions or comments by using the chat panel or by emailing us at info@newired.com. We'll get back to you in the next few days. Today we're talking about a unique software offering, Newired Journeys, and how it can dramatically affect the productivity and user experience of your organization. Newired takes the complexity and learning curve out of using any web application so that the end user is engaged and tasks are completed quickly. Newired Journeys takes the training out of the classroom and leads the user through contextual elements in the application or website, so the user quickly accomplishes what they set out to. User retention is reinforced, while training and support costs are directly affected and user adoption is ensured. While we take a closer look at all of this, we'll also review the next use of Newired Journeys on their end-to-end software and how Newired provides a much more intuitive approach. At this time, I'd like to introduce Gianluca Ippolito, a product manager at Newired, who will ask a few questions to Tiago about Neki-IT experience with Newired Journeys.
Hello everybody, and hello Tiago.
Hello Gianluca.
Okay, let's start with questions. Okay, Tiago, as Neki-IT CEO, would you like to explain us what NT's portal is and which are its main benefits and features?
Yes, of course. Good afternoon to everybody. NT is a product from Neki-IT. It was developed to provide some functionalities to make it easier for the healthcare providers to make the communication with the healthcare insurance company, right? And its main benefit is that it makes it very easy for you to communicate with different healthcare companies. So in Brazil, the private healthcare sector is very strong, and many doctors, clinics, and hospitals have to usually communicate with different healthcare companies.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's actually the main benefit, and then we make the consulting and every aspect of the healthcare process very seamlessly connected to the healthcare company.
Okay. Could you tell us why did you choose to integrate Newired Journeys into your system? Was there a particular issue to be fixed?
Well, yes. First, because we understand that a manual is very important, especially if we take into account that we have different users all around the country, and Brazil is a big country. So whenever you have the information, the correct information delivered to your user, the better your system will be. So this is the first issue, and usually we see online or either PDF documents or a very poor online material or HTML files,
Mm-hmm.
and usually they don't give a good approach to the user. So it's boring, it's static, and the user usually don't go to the manual, and at the end it doesn't have the information delivered correctly, right?
Yeah.
And we wanted to improve that, to make a different approach, to make it easier, more intuitive, right, for the user, to get in the platform and to get the information, the correct information whenever the user needs, right? And the other thing was onboarding issues.
Mm-hmm.
Right? At the beginning, we need to either to go to the customer, right, and deliver proper bureaucratic sort of training to the users, right, in a single time. And then when the user goes to the computer, the information is not available anymore. So these onboarding issues it was very important to us, so we can make a proper onboarding, a remote onboarding, right? And the user could make this onboarding whenever he wants, and as many times as it feels necessary.
Of course, and that's where Newired comes in handy. Well, could you show us how you solve your problem? Have you thought about using different solutions?
Yes, we thought of different solutions. We looked for some UX tools, and most of them were on cloud services, right? Not so easy to implement, not so easy to integrate.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up talking to Newired, right? That offers on cloud or on-premises installation, and also a very to use editor. I mean, we didn't have much difficulty to implement our journeys.
Yes.
Right, and then I'm going to show you very quick some of our simple journeys. So if you could give me the control of the, please, John.
Yeah, 1 second. Okay, yes.
Okay, so as easy as it looks, we just log in on the Newired website, right? Just go on the site that we want to edit, and then we have the journeys already developed. So I apologize for having everything in Portuguese, but you get the point of how this works, right? And I'm showing this on our internal environment, right? So we don't access sensible information on our product itself. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go. This is the first journey that we have. It's a very simple journey. It's just a login, right? So it just goes over how the user should fill in the fields.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just type the login and then the password. Then you click on this button to log in. And then it says that in this platform, we are logging in as an employee of a healthcare provider. So a healthcare employee can be linked to different healthcare providers, like medics, clinics. So you choose the healthcare provider you want to log in with, and then it shows this home page after the login. And then one other journey that we are going to show is how to fill the form for a simple medical consult.
Okay, that's right.
Right? So it just goes on how you should, the menu item that you should choose, and it goes directly to the form. And then it just shows how the user should fill in all the information and how it should fill in. I mean, this is the number of the association number, right? And then it just goes for each different field, explaining exactly how the user should fill in the blocks of information and the form fields. So it's very easy for the user. I don't need to make this onboarding or any training. The user can access whenever he wants. So in case the user has any doubts on how to fill a specific field, it can just go over this journey and understand and get his doubts solved, right? So this has dramatically decreased the amount of support calls that we have for simple information as how to fill in some specific forms.
Yes, I want to ask you, other than this kind of benefit, what do you think the whole experience of Newired Journeys, would you say its main benefits and improvements are for your company?
Well, we have this already, so we have support calls decreased a lot. We don't need to travel and to be specifically in the customer premises just to make the training. So this is something that it's a cost reduction, and it's very important because the user gets the information that he needs delivered at the time that he wants. So this is, has been dramatically good for our product. Right? Other than that, it's very easy to use tool. As you can see, I mean, we can create the journeys in a very easy way in graphic mode, so I don't need to allocate my developers to develop or to create or to code any of the journeys. So I can have some specialists, right, on the tool that doesn't need to know code, that doesn't need to know specifically Java or any other technology, and they can do the journeys themselves. So this is a very important aspect for us. I mean, I can get the specialized people that know the business analysts, right?
Yes.
And they can do the journeys.
Very good. Yes. So last question. Would you recommend Newired to other companies, and why? Well,
Because of all that we just spoke, it's very easy to use. It's easy to deploy. You can deploy it on premises and have complete control of it, right? And you can have that. I mean, you can plug in to any platform, web platform that you can you are providing to your customers, right? And you can have people, business people. You don't need to have IT department to provide to your customers this user experience tool.
Yes.
Okay. Diego, could you change the presenter role?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. In closing, I hope you were able to see how Newired Journeys can have impact on the user experience of a key application, and in turn reduce your training and support efforts while improving productivity. I will now give the floor to Lucia. Thank you, Thiago.
If you have more information or questions, or you have an interest in a customized theme of Newired Journeys on one of your applications, please email us at info@newired.com. Thanks for joining us today, and please look out for other Newired webinars in the future.